Hi guys, welcome to the Fourth Moment Weekly Roundup, and this is where you get your weekly dose of local football action. And we see you back after the last long Easter weekend, Andrew. Your weekend must have been fantastic. You were at the Bale, you were all over the place.
Yeah, I was at the Bale. I was at the Trinity tournament. It was very exciting. It was good. It was good football. I saw this weekend, Shama, a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Especially the Trinity tournament, the under 14 talent really stood
Good.
out for me. Yeah, no, very good.
Yeah, I unfortunately couldn't make that one. Was on my way there, but then got diverted. Bale, how was let's chat quickly about the Bale and about the Trinis.
Yeah.
Anything you want to chat about quick?
Yeah, the Bale obviously started last Wednesday. When we recorded the show last week, I was talking about the first day. I really enjoyed that. Shamiel, the Bale is obviously the Bale. Everybody's used to the Bale being on Easter weekend, and everybody's used to, the tradition of the Bale and all that. I just thought the vibe wasn't as like before, man. I just felt that it wasn't that big a crowd. I thought especially the Saturday, I would have thought it would be a bigger crowd. It was a nice hot day. I just thought maybe it just needed a bit of energy, man. But otherwise, the football was good. It was decent football. I think the finalists, Cape Town Spurs, FN Rangers,
I think it was
teams
a good final.
that came through.
Was watching to see if FN could have pulled a GP.
Yeah, listen. FN has also got. People need to realize they've got a young squad.
Yeah,
I think about 80% of their squad will be available for the next 2 years.
Oh,
at the Bale.
Okay. That young?
That young, yeah. Very nice squad.
Awesome.
Obviously, it shows the development that's going on at FN Rangers, and obviously with the ABC team also doing so well, it shows you that the structures are very good there. Yeah. And obviously, Cape Town Spurs wanted to avenge their loss last year against GP. They got it done. And Bale, again, Shamiel, last year they won the midsection. This year, Bale winning the plate section. So congrats to them. Yeah. And then also, Shamiel, I think we got to look at Young Bafana, also taking part in the tournament. They did very, very well, winning the midsection, beating a very good team who I thought...
who did they beat?
I'm trying to remember now. It'll come to me. But they did very, very well there. Okay. And I think you got to look at the structures and the coaching and everything. And I think it's definitely on the field. It's gone up a notch. I just thought off the field, I just think the Bale has got such a big name and prestige, and people will always come to the Bale and everything. And I think maybe we just need a bit more energy, around, And the games were, especially on Saturday, I found it very tough for the players who were fasting
because of the weather
and fasting because it was so hot. But obviously, we can't help when the Easter weekend is. Yeah. But besides that, the football delivered. Very good final, very well attended. I believe it was 9,500 people. Yeah. So big ups to the Bale LOC for organising that and getting the people to come in and support. I think those that were there, the final were not disappointed. It was actually a very nice game, end to end. Even though the Spurs won 4-1.
The crowd obviously had
something to go for it. I mean, the game could have changed. I mean, FN missed a penalty to make it 1-1. It could have changed the result maybe. But listen, it was very entertaining. Spurs, I think, were just strong all the way through. I think they were very consistent. They were under the radar the first couple of days and people weren't watching them. Yeah. But no, big ups to Spurs. Big ups, like I said, to the other winners who won in the other sections. And then one team on highlights, FC Porto. Yeah. Shamiel, I was very impressed with them. I said to you on day one, they impressed me. They impressed me all the way through. And I think that's a team who Young Bafana beat in the midsection final. So well done to FC Porto. They played very nice football. Yeah. And I was actually talking with Coach Arashad Daniels of FN Rangers. I picked him up on Saturday. We were chatting on the way through and he was asking me, I said, watch Porto. Very nice team. Play very nice ball. And also a very young squad.
Yeah. I think I caught some of Saturday's games, and I actually watched the game where FC Porto beat Safa Cape Town Academy.
Yes.
And look, obviously it was hot. I think they were 1-0 up, and they hung onto that lead. Obviously, Safa Cape Town team coming, but they did well. Yeah, went into the depth of the squad because players were getting injured and fatigued and whatever. But yeah, I think from what I saw at the Bale, wasn't there long enough to concur with your sentiments about the vibe. But I think there's also a lot of other positives that the tournament did have, like the DSTV Super Sports Schools thing. Yeah. And there was a bit of a difference in terms of maybe the marketing point of view or whatever. So I suppose it's one of those things you focus on something and something else goes. But I'm sure they'll
put it. That Super Sports Schools coverage, I think also help a lot of people who couldn't get there. They could at least watch it on the app or on TV. So that was very, very nice. Yeah. I think we got to look at the Trinis tournament from the Trinis side. When I got there, very well organized. I was there on the Monday for the final day. And just seeing the smiles on the faces, man, of those under 14 boys playing against teams from other LFAs. And it was very exciting to watch. And very good football. I got to admit, there's a lot of talent. The final, Cape Town Spurs, Vasco, Cape Town Spurs doing the double, winning the Chinese tournament as well, beating Vasco 1-0 in the final. I was very impressed with our Vasco boys and the way they played. And losing to Spurs is never a disgrace, and they gave them a very good game. Listen, I think also, the games were on time. It worked very well. The teams, and like I said, well supported. A lot of parents there, which is always good to watch for junior football, getting a lot of parents supporting the clubs and community clubs. I mean, Vasco, we played Juvies in the semi-final. Big support, Juvies always. Vasco, well supported. So it was very, very nice. But listen, all in all, it was a good weekend of football. And I think, we got a lot of things to look positive to. I think with the Chinese tournament that's going from strength to strength, the fields were also in excellent condition. Symphony Park, and on that basis, obviously,
the football
they concurred, and also Erica Park. I mean, Erica Park also, the fields were in excellent
different
condition.
this year.
Way better.
Even
the D in the corner looked like Wembley. It was so brilliant. So big ups to those facility managers as well. I think they don't get credit either, and the city also for supplying, and sponsoring the bail and the Chinese tournament. So all in all, it was a good weekend of football.
So before we end that note, I just want to say congrats to both LOCs, to everybody that held tournaments this past weekend. And obviously the bail is quite a big one. Big ups to Cape Town Spurs, because even though I suppose they were the fancy side, but I mean, having the what do you call it, the monkey on the back of last year, also making the final, not beating now again a good amateur team and so on. So I want to say well done to them, because they also obviously face some pressure.
Sure.
But it's like they say, it's all in the mind. And just before we end a little chat about tournaments, there's the Spur Ignite Cup being hosted with the Seaside Spurs Football Club Spur Ignite Cup taking place for
sponsored by
Spur, but it's called the Spur Ignite Cup. Under 10 and under 12, 8v8. That's taking place next weekend, the 13th of April, obviously in Ocean View. And if you want to get involved in that tournament, you can have a look at the Seaside Spurs Facebook page and get hold of them there. And apparently there might even be some spots open for some teams to take part.
Listen, and Seaside Spurs, another fairy tale story, a club. It's only been around for 2 years. Made the semi-final of the Coke in their first year, then got promoted into the regional third division via the playoffs. Everything they touch seems to turn into gold. So I think it's going to be well supported. I will definitely try and make a turn out there if I'm not playing next weekend.
Talk about playing light. That's enough about the tournaments.
Yes.
Let's have a look at obviously there was no fixtures that took place last weekend in the ABC Motsepe in the third division, like we did allude to last week. And then so this week we're just looking at fixtures.
Perfect.
ABC Motsepe A, Ukanya United versus Junction Rovers. That's 2:00 on Saturday at the Lennox Sports Ground.
No, it's going to be a tough one, Shamiel. Ukanya need points. They're only 1 point above Royal Blues in the relegation spot. Junction Rovers, obviously, we feel they're pretty safe.
But they still need to secure.
They still need to secure, and I'm sure there's a lot of pride. They want to end up as high as they can. But it's a tough one. I think if Ukanya get to 3 points there, they're going to put themselves in a good position to stay up.
Then Young Bafana and Ikapa Sporting playing on Saturday also at 3:00 at
tough to go to Young Bafana Arena in Strand, and I believe the wind is going to be pumping on Saturday. So it's not going to help Ikapa. And Ikapa also a team that train on AstroTurf, going to a bumpy grass field. I would give it to Young Bafana.
Then a team that everybody's going to be watching at the moment, waiting for them to probably slip, is FN Rangers, and they got a tough task against Ubuntu, but fortunately it's at home at the Royal Road.
I think FN Rangers, this is where the experience will come through. I watched their game in the first round at Ubuntu, and they came back from 1-0 down to win 2-1, and that's where I thought the experience would come in, and I think the experience could be there on Saturday as well, so I'd give FN Rangers that one.
Okay, Royal Blues at home to Nova Park. That must be a win for Nova Park. Well, it has to be a win for Nova Park.
If Hanover Park want to keep the stream alive, they have to win. The problem we have is that Royal Blues are now fighting. They lost on the log. They're 1 point behind Ukanya. They're fighting for points. We don't know what's going to happen in Beaufort. When it comes out there, it's always tough going out there and getting a result. Sure, Shamiel, it's a tough one to call. I would say Hanover Park should win, but you never know.
Never know. Right, looking at the log there for the ABC Motsepe A, like we know, obviously, if they just top of the log there with 29 points, Nova Park in second spot, same amount of games played, 23 points. And I think Santos is in third with 22 points. But I think at the moment we're looking at Rangers and Nova Park as one of the eventual winners. Then at the bottom of the log there, you've got Royal Blues, as Coach Andrews indicated, and then Okanya just above them with 6 points, 1 point ahead of Royal Blues.
Yeah, and there's a 6 point gap to Young Bafana. So basically it boils down to Okanya Royal Blues.
Yeah.
And I think they play each other at Okanya's home ground the next couple of weeks.
So I think with this stream, we're looking at 1 and 2 for the eventual winner and 8 and 9 at the moment.
Yeah.
But we might be wrong anyway. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Our predictions are wrong all the time.
Always.
Right, going to stream B, and this is where it's also exciting, but it's a bit more exciting.
It's hotting up. Stream B is hotting up.
Okay, so we got a match on Friday night. If the fixtures stay like this, Zizwe United hosting City Kings at Nyanga. That's going to be a tough one for both sides, but I think I would favor Zizwe.
Yeah, Zizwe at home. Listen, City Kings need points. Battalions are the closest to them. Battalions are bottom. They're second bottom.
Yeah.
Zizwe tough to beat in Nyanga. I think Zizwe might get a result there.
Then Oriented Birds hosting Cape Town Spurs. I think Oriented Birds right now, we can't actually predict what the score will be because they're beating parties and they're beating...
Yeah, they're not oriented. Listen, it's going to be... Cape Town Spurs travelling. Obviously, the bulk of the squad played the Bale, so they'll be pretty excited on a high.
Yeah.
But it's never easy going to travel, especially when you're going to Plet.
Yeah.
Sure, I might even call that a draw, Shamiel.
Okay, let's see what happens. And then Clearwood JPM playing against Battalions. Obviously, we favor Clearwood there for a win. Battalions struggling, bottom of the log.
Yeah, Clearwood need to win all their games, I reckon, to win the stream.
Yeah.
They're now at the not last chance saloon, but they have to win all their games.
Yeah.
I think they should fancy their chance against Battalions. Battalions have had 1 win the whole season. They've only got 3 points.
Yeah.
They're 5 points behind City Kings, who are second bottom, so they have to win.
Yeah.
But I don't see them getting over Clearwood.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. They're fighting for survival.
This is not going to be easy.
Anything's possible. And the big one for the weekend, ABC Mutsepe, for both streams, must be Marties hosting Grassy Park at Lentils. Lekker stress game, this lekker pressure. Oh, I wish I could be there.
Yeah, we like Grassy Park, just the way they play and everything, and the way they've come up, from the shadows out into the light now. Now they're in the light, they can't hide anymore.
Yeah.
They're top of the stream, they can't hide. Yeah. Marties were the team that was going, they had 7 from 7, all of a sudden had a dip, big dip, and Marties need to win.
Yeah.
I think Marties need to win. If Grassy Park get a win there, the stream's in their hands.
Do you think Marties will have sort of an upper hand, seeing that they had no real involvement in the Bale? Whereas GP, they focus, they were there. Some of their players obviously playing in that Bale side. Also, the coaches are also involved in the Bale there. So do you think Coach Jesse's experience and so would have taken this time to actually...
I think Coach Jesse would have got his ship right.
Yeah.
I think he would have worked on 1 or 2 things we thought they've come short on the last couple of weeks. But I think, yes and no, Shamiel. I think GP, when you're top of a log, I think you got that extra vuma, man, and the extra motivation to stay there.
Yeah.
And I think that will drive them to not be lackadaisical, or not lackadaisical, maybe to be a bit jaded or something.
Yeah.
And I think the focus has always been on the ABC. I think their coaches, Coach Shakes is very experienced. I think he would have, kept the boys grounded, kept them, listen, guys, it's 1 game at a time. But I think Marties, would have been the team who, over the last couple of weeks, would have done a lot of homework and a lot of introspection. And Marties at home, never easy, Shamiel. It's never easy. But, if GP win, stream's in their hands.
Yeah.
If Marties wins, it's still open.
I think Marties need to make sure that they end the game with 11 players.
Yes. They've had that curse at home the last couple of games.
Because when they've lost, like with Clearwood, and I remember the other match also, that's when they received.
Yeah, against Hartbay, against Hartbay.
So, anyway, they're still in the driving seat, actually, if you look at it mathematically. 22 points, Marties, looking at the log now. They've got 1 game in hand, 11 matches played. Grassy Park's 12 matches played, 24 points. So if Marties win all their games, they win the stream.
Yes.
Clearwood third spot with 21 points, also 11 matches played. And then bottom of the log, as we said, that's Battalions right at the bottom with 3 points, and second from bottom is City Kings with 8 points. So those guys have...
Yeah, and I think we also cannot discount Houtbay. Houtbay are in 4th position. They got 19 points from 11 games. If they win their game in hand on Grassy Park, they'll only be 2 points behind Grassy Park. So there's still, there's 5 games to go for a lot of those teams.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to boil down to the last game. And I still see that last game. It's always in my head. Marties versus Clearwood.
Yeah.
That last game, if GP falter, that could be the stream decider.
I don't know. I don't see Outbay there, but I might be wrong. Right.
If you look at the fixtures they got left, they got a very good chance.
Okay. ABC Motsepe done and dusted, and now we're going to jump to the third division. And as usual, the third division.
Double header weekend coming.
Very
Shamiel.
busy. I don't know if you're going to go through all these games, Andrew.
Let's go through it. I think we'll get comments from people saying we missed their fixtures, so we
oh yes, so we want to apologize ahead
in case we miss.
Yeah, because we've been some and then we get complaints.
Yes,
it's not intentional.
But also
the third will be the same team.
Every time. So we apologize for that. I think we also got to mention that also the third division has had a break over the Easter weekend. So a lot of teams getting players back. Like we had a break. We gave our guys a week off. Get them fresh for this week. Training's been very good. So yeah, let's have a look and see how the teams come back.
Right, so we got Friday night fixtures starting, Crystal Palace and Wanderers. That's taking place at Manenberg. Yeah, tough one to call.
I think I might go with Palace there, Sean.
Greenwood and Silver Spurs.
Sure, I don't know, eh?
Solo Street.
Greenwood need points. They're not safe yet.
Yeah.
And I think, you can't be safe until you get to 36. They're not safe yet. Their next 3 games are very important for Greenwood. Silver Spurs at home, tough one to call. Leading goal scorer coming up against the Greenwood defense.
Yeah.
Solo, Greenwood, lots of wind. Yeah, might be Greenwood.
We'll see what happens.
Greenwood.
Ocean View and Camps Bay. Well, both teams here, they have to win.
Yeah, third bottom versus fourth bottom. Yeah. Camps Bay need to win. Ocean View need to win. I think the problem we're sitting with here, Shamiel, is that, the problem that the teams down the bottom is they're running out of games.
Yeah.
And there's a 6-point gap between Camps Bay and Ocean View. Ocean View need to win. They're at home. They know they must win.
Yeah. Also, if they do win, they'll still be below Camps Bay, but obviously it's
pressure,
yeah, step ahead there. And obviously, if Camps Bay win, makes their life a lot more easier.
A lot easier.
Okay, then Giles Wani and Seaside Spurs.
Sure.
That's on Saturday, taking place at
1 o'clock kickoff.
NY
116. Yeah, 1 o'clock
kickoff.
Early kickoff. Seaside, Zwane. Too tough to call. Tough to call.
Yeah. And then Cape Town City playing Woodlands. That should be a win for Cape Town City at Malta Park on Saturday.
Woodlands are fighting. You saw that the last game against us, they drew 4-4. They're fighting. They need points. If they, every game is now last chance. They're second bottom. They need to get points. And if Camps Bay beat Ocean View, then they're basically in deep trouble.
Yeah. Then Goal 50 and Trinitarians taking place at Heideveld on Saturday.
Sure, another tough one, eh? Yo, Shamiel, the games
also the form, they're inconsistent, both of them, so it's...
Yeah, but Goal 50 in Heideveld is tough to beat, eh? I'm sticking my head out and saying Goal 50. They're very tough to beat at home.
Just watch how your head gets chopped off. Then, Matruas and Premier United.
Sure, another one. Matruas have been on the run. Premier were on the run. They both got knocks in their last game. Yeah. So, it's Premier going from AstroTurf to grass. Matruas Fontaine tough to beat at home. Might take a draw on that. Eh?
Then FC Hout Bay and Vasco da Gama. You guys are traveling on Saturday?
Yeah, tough one. Hout Bay, 3 o'clock.
Also fighting for survival?
Yeah, they need points. Hout Bay are desperate now. It's going to be a tough one for us, especially with the wind blowing. The wind's blowing everywhere, but at Hout Bay, we could take a shot. It ends up in Camps Bay. But no, it's going to be a tough one for us. We're definitely not taking the game lightly. We know what they're going to be fighting for.
You can't because, also...
No, every game you can't.
Then Jomos and Saxon Rovers.
Sure. Jomos at home. They've only, like we said, they've only lost 1 game the whole season to Wanderers. Saxon Rovers flying, second on the log. I think they've won a lot of games in a row.
I think I was looking at this fixture when I was putting it on the website, and I was thinking, you know what, Jomos can win this game. They probably can win this game.
No, they can. Listen, they can beat any. I mean, they beat us. They beat a lot of good teams at home. They were Crystal Palace, if my memory serves me. Very good team at home. And they picked, like I told you last week, and I invited the viewers, 90% of their points are they've won at home. Yeah. And they're not safe either. So the earlier they get safe, the better. They still need another 5 or 6 points to be safe.
So we're going to go for the possible. I would say Jonas.
I say Saxons.
Then Camps Bay. Okay, so obviously it's double header, so now we're into the Sunday. Camps Bay hosting Matruas.
Sure. Not easy. Not easy. No comment. Tough weekend. Tough, yeah.
Premier and Giles Wani.
Sure, the AstroTurf, Hanover Park, Downburg Road, Premier United at home. I think it's Premier.
Yeah. And then Trini's playing Crystal Palace. That's going to be tough.
Trini's not safe either.
A lot of these games, it doesn't matter where you're on the log. Yeah. It's been the time of the season where you're fighting for survival.
Yes.
Or you're fighting to
keep your status, or you're fighting to keep your players from going to LFA clubs, which is the other challenge. I think Trini's at home is going to be tough to beat for Palace. And I think also going from an AstroTurf to a field, If Trinnies get 3 points this weekend, it will help them immensely. So I might go with Trinnies with that one.
And here's one, doesn't really matter the field because both of these teams play on Astro. Seaside Spurs hosting Gold 50 United.
Big game.
Yeah.
I think Seaside are trying to end up as high as possible. And I think Gold 50 are still in the run for the title. They're only 9 points behind, if memory serves me. So they know they're going to get 6 points this weekend.
Yeah. And then the match of the W's, Woodlands versus Wanderers, or Wanderers versus Woodlands. Woodlands traveling to Nyanga.
Tough weekend for Woodlands, eh?
Tough, right?
Okay, they're playing against two teams that like to play ball. Cape Town City the Saturday, Wanderers the Sunday. Wanderers Nyanga Stadium, tough, Shamiel.
Saxon Rovers hosting Greenwood Athletic.
That's Tuesday.
Tuesday evening, 7:30 p.m.
Ooh.
I would say that's tough for Greenwood.
Very tough for Greenwood.
Yeah.
Saxons at home, very, very tough. I think I would go with Saxons with that one, yeah.
Spurs and FC Hout Bay.
Oh, I know.
Tough weekend for Hout Bay. I mean, playing the log leaders and then Spurs the next match.
Tough weekend for Spurs. Playing against Greenwood and Hout Bay, both fighting. Sure, Shamiel. I think I might just go with Silver Spurs with that.
Right, then Ocean View and Ocean View making a long trip there. Oh no, Jomo's doing the long trip to Ocean View.
You're far, Shamiel. Listen, Ocean View need the points. Jomo's also need the points depending on the result against Saxons. If Ocean View gets 6 points this weekend, it's kept amongst the pigeons down the bottom there.
It will be a big weekend for them. And then the last match for next week is Vasco versus Cape Town City at Parrow Park.
Tuesday night, 7:30. Yeah, big one for us, Shamiel. Two title contenders fighting it out. Cape Town City 6 points behind us.
Yeah.
Both teams needing to win. It's the last game that we've got against the teams in the top 5, so we need to obviously try and get as many points as we can. Cape Town City, Vasco, two teams that like to play football, are saying if you're not going anywhere else, you can come through to Parrow Park. It'll be a very exciting game to watch, I think.
Guys, and yeah, that's sort of it from us for this week. We'll be back next week with more results and fixtures, obviously. And before we go, we're going to say big up thanks to Pequeno, our panel sponsor, and then also obviously GSM Roofing for helping us getting out the contact. And yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
And no exciting announcement?
Exciting announcement. Oh, yes, almost forgot. Exciting announcement. We're doing the 100th show of the weekly moment, the 4th moment weekly roundup.
Yes.
24th of April, 8 p.m. live. Make sure you get your airtime and your data for your Facebook coming to you from our Facebook page and group.
Or your neighbor's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, or any. Yeah, but we'll talk more about that next week. We might have some exciting guests with us also. So it's going to be awesome. I'm very excited for that. And we'll chat more about that next week. What's going to happen?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cheers. We'll see you
Cheers.
next week.